to Christian Jung and Christian Kinzel. Secondly, let's talk about the journalists. The journalists have been there for the first time at the Eunice Moon, and we can indeed say that it's very successful. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? It's great. And, well, if you have read, we have even gotten an interview by Didier Burkhalter in yesterday's newspaper. We've managed to do that. Today we'll have we'll have an interview by Richard Jones, who is the EU ambassador to Switzerland, and Jürg Lauber, who is the chief of negotiations for the UN for the FDFA of Switzerland. And they'll distribute the newspaper as it is ready, they'll distribute them as you go out. So please take one, and there's photos in there as well, so it's a good memorabilia thing too. Then, let me proceed with thanking the journalists as well. What made the journalists, the publications actually possible is our editor-in-chief, Florian Jäger. And to the photographer who made really wonderful photos and came here for free. Can you imagine that? 3 days for free? He's very cool. Where is he? Then, next up, to logistics for the seamless organization of splendid food, great social events, and did anybody see something go wrong? I didn't. And I'm very happy to say that at the end of a conference. I'm quite tired and we've worked hard for this. So please give a huge applause to our logistics team. Then instrumental in getting everyone here is recruitment. Thank you very much for managing an insurmountable pile of lists and accommodating all special requests. You wouldn't believe how many special requests there are. Thank you very much. To our finance woman for correctly managing all our financial flows. Fundraising and sponsoring department for providing us with the funds to actually organize the event and don't make you pay that much. So please give a warm thanks to the sponsors. Thanking you next to the DSG, the Deputy Secretary General, who was responsible for sponsoring detailed planning and the organization of guest speakers. He really made our life a lot easier. Damian, please, everyone. To my fellow Secretary General Robert, basically for doing everything else that everyone else neglected. Thank you very much. One last thanks to our hosting associations, Moonburn and Eunice, for providing us support in various forms. Thank you very much. Let's move along. Enough thanks from our side to ourselves. You know, there's a point where it gets really annoying. But let's give the floor to Moonburn and who's going to talk? Christine.
Stop thanking our wonderful Secretary Generals to make everything happen here. Just give a warm applause, and I yield my time now to your applause to thank our wonderful Secretary Generals.
Next up, we have Eunice. Where are you?
Hi guys. You might have seen me and Gabriel do a lot of jobs and tasks and have some requests for you. We were so happy to be here. We're forever grateful to everyone, Bern, the Secretary Generals especially, for making this possible. We had the impression that you really enjoyed the conference. I had the privilege to sit in some sessions. And I must say, I'm a horrible delegate myself, but it was so complicated and on such a high level that I didn't understand it. I was so impressed. So let's give an applause to the Secretary Generals, Moon Bern, and the organizational committee for doing an amazing job. Thank you.
Because the Secretary Generals, they had to cut back a bit on the beer, on the social events to be here full-heartedly and mindedly, mostly, so they can have a toast afterwards and enjoy a cool beer. But also the whole team who made the name of Eunice shine, thank you so much. They were here before you, months before, working for you, and they will also stay after you go. Someone needs to clean up, needs to give back the printer they organized the printer, how cool is that? They need to make all in order again. And we just thought, on a very personal note, that we would like to make their last hours after you left a bit sweeter, sweeten their work a bit at the end, and give them some chocolates. And give them all a big hand. They did such an amazing job. Never seen that before. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the other Secretary General.
Honorable chairs, distinguished delegates, dear organizing committee, dear friends. After 2.5 days, we are at an end at last. You have debated written papers, voted on draft resolutions, and hopefully found an adequate solution to the problems on which you were tasked. And of course, at night, you partied hard and slept very little. Remember what I told you on Friday night at the opening ceremony, and at what all of you laughed back then. I remember it very well. I told you that you would wish you had another weekend ahead of you, just to relax from this weekend. Well, I guess the joke's on me, because I'm fucking tired and exhausted. I also mentioned something else 2 days ago. I challenge you to get out of your shell and use this conference as an opportunity. I hope some of you at least use this opportunity. I thank all of you for coming, and I hope you enjoyed your stay in Bern. Thank you very much. And of course, we're not going to end on words of so-called philosophers like me or Jonas. No, we're gonna end with the words of someone very special that knew a long time ago already what is important in this world and what should happen. So please listen carefully.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone. The good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world, millions of despairing men, women, and children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!
Ladies and gentlemen, this was Charlie Chaplin in The Great Dictator over 70 years ago. If you're interested, the movie is without the Inception soundtrack behind it. But in that case, we're at an end for this conference. We will now accept a motion for an adjournment of the meeting. Anyone of the delegates? Does nobody have his placard left here? Are there any points or motions on the floor? Delegate of the Russian Federation. I'm sorry, I will not accept any points right now. Okay, yeah, very well. We will accept that and we will now vote on this motion. All those in favor of adjourning this meeting, please raise your hands or placards. All those against? This motion passes. I declare this conference closed. Thank you very much.
One last thing. If you want to look at when the trains leave and on what track, please look at the slides.
Ciao Loulou.
Ciao ma belle.
Tschüss.
Hey, ciao Nathalie. Oh, thank you.